As the Minister for Local Government in President Daniel Arap Moi's government, Moses Budamba Mudavadi was so influential that even diplomats would pay him a courtesy call at his residence whenever they wanted special favors with State House instead of going to the Foreign Affairs Ministry. Tonight on the Cabinet, we focus on Moses Mudavadi.
Moses Budamba Mudavadi was an influential politician in Western Kenya and within the ruling party, Kenya African National Union KANU. As an influential member of President Daniel Arap Moi's government, Moses Mudavadi was the only person other than President Moi who would receive delegations at his residence. Even diplomats who wanted to quickly pass certain messages from their countries to State House reportedly paid courtesy calls on him at home instead of going to the Foreign Affairs Ministry. For his political influence in Western Kenya, Mudavadi was nicknamed the King of Mululu in reference to the village of his birth. Mudavadi held 4 cabinet positions at various times during his tenure in Parliament. They included the Ministry of Basic Education, the Ministry of Water Development, the Ministry of Culture and Social Services, and the Ministry of Local Government and Physical Planning. He also served as KANU Secretary General. Born in 1923 in Sabatia, Mudavadi attended the old Kima Boys Secondary School before joining Maseno School and then Alliance High School. For tertiary education, Mudavadi studied at the Leeds University in England and Harvard University in the US. Moses Mudavadi served briefly as a warrant officer in the King's African Rifles before becoming a teacher, later rising to the position of District Education Officer in Western Kenya and Rift Valley Province before being appointed the first Provincial Education Officer for Nairobi. During his time working for the Ministry of Education in the Rift Valley, Mudavadi met Daniel Arap Moi, a teacher at the time, and a strong friendship developed between the two. As the school's inspector stationed in Kabranet and in charge of Baringo, among other areas, Mudavadi recommended the future president for an in-service course that paved the way for his promotion. Mudavadi also influenced decisions to appoint Moi as the head of the Kabranet Intermediate School and to represent the Rift Valley in the Legislative Council. Mudavadi ventured into politics in 1969 but failed to win the Vihiga parliamentary seat. He was also unsuccessful in the second attempt in 1974. He lost the seat to Peter Kibisu, who was subsequently convicted on an assault charge. Mudavadi won the 1976 by-election, and his long-term friendship with Daniel Arap Moi proved useful in his political career. Mudavadi joined Parliament at a time when a group of politicians was trying to change the constitution to block Moi, then the Vice President, from succeeding President Jomo Kenyatta. Mudavadi backed his friend, a decision that worked well for him when Moi became President in 1978. Mudavadi was appointed to the cabinet in 1979 as Minister for Basic Education in charge of teacher training colleges and schools. During his tenure at the Basic Education Ministry, Mudavadi was accused of admitting mostly people from his home area to teacher training colleges and was accused of the same when he was moved to the Ministry of Water Development in 1980. Despite the public outcry, he was not fired. Although his stay at the Ministry of Water Development was somewhat controversial, Mudavadi worked to improve the water situation in drought-stricken areas of the country. In 1982, Moses Mudavadi was moved to the Ministry of Culture and Social Services. Women's issues fell under his docket. He was instrumental in urging Maendeleo ya Wanawake, the women's development organization, to ensure that its efforts resonated in the rural areas. Mudavadi is perhaps best remembered as Minister for Local Government, a position he was appointed to in 1983. Once again, his time there was not without controversy. At one point, he over-nominated councillors to civic authorities, exceeding the stipulated 1/3 ratio. A validation bill was quickly approved in Parliament to regularize the anomaly. In 1982, the minister disbanded many wayward civic authorities in the country, establishing commissions in their place. The biggest casualty was the Nairobi City Council, whose mayor Nathan Kahara was dismissed along with all his councillors, with the commission headed by John Ramtu being in charge for 10 years until 1992. After an illustrious career in the civil service and in politics, Mudavadi died in 1989 at the age of 66 years. His son, Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi, carried on the legacy by going into politics.